Hey, Artie friends, good to see you. We got our little Lucy here. She's saying hello today. Hi, everybody. I told her that a lot of people missed her last week. Sorry, I dropped my notes here. Hi, Anne. Sorry I had to pop off. I had a phone call about my mom. She got placed in our pick of long-term cares for her. So she's moving tomorrow, so I had some stuff to coordinate. Hi, Dar. Hi, Utah. Hi, Becky. Lucy says hi. Hey, Janet, boss lady. Hi, Linda and Tim. Good to see you guys. So today we're going to be doing some abstract landscapes. If you recall, I showed some of these postcards that I bought while I was in PEI for vacation, and that sort of inspired me to do some abstract landscapes. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Jenny Roberts. Hi, Nana Mo. I did mail out all the giveaways on Monday, so that should be arriving. Who knows? Depends where you live. Hi again, Dede. So we're going to do some abstract landscapes today, and I'd already put Dede as one of my sources of inspiration in the description, and she was actually jelly printing today. Sometimes she does these sort of abstract-y landscape kind of papers. That's on a black deli paper, and she had sent me one, and I did this collage. So I'm not doing a collage today, but I just wanted to show you some of the inspiration. So that's a collage done on a Dede gel print. So there's all sorts of styles of gel printing, and I'm going to be exploring some inspired by Dede, inspired by mixed media art by Trina, I think it's called. I put it in the description as well. The Shelley Studio, Margelle, she did a whole series of abstract landscapes on the gel plate for 100 days of art or whatever. Ooh, Nana Mo, 32 there today. Wow. It's rainy here today, not very warm. I'm just scrolling back to see if I missed anybody. Hi, Deb Smith. And I'll have to open the door later so Lucy can get out. She has been actually spending more time with me in my room. She kind of sits under my coloring desk, and unless I make like lots of noise, she usually stays. Did your mom kidnap you? Yes. Help me, help me. Hey, who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? I did post a picture that a friend of mine took. We were playing cards outside on our balcony, and Lucy she wanted to be on my lap, which she's not really a super lap dog. Like, she likes to be beside me, but she wanted to be on my lap, and she had her little chin on the table, and she had her little paw. So my friend took a picture. So I put it in stories in Instagram, and I put it as a post on my Facebook. So if you want to see a cute picture of Lucy, I called us twins because I was doing a little pose. Let's see. So what else can we talk about? Oh, I wanted to do a correction. Last week I was using these neon acrylic paints, and I said they were Montmartre, and after I got off I realized they were not Montmartre. They were Royal Langnickel acrylics. I think I got them at HomeSense though, but that's what those were. And what else do I have? Oh, I wanted to show, remember my pink, I'm just throwing things all over the place. Remember my pink composition book? Hi, Lexi. Oh yes, I'll pay Becky. I did some doodling because I said this is going to be like my doodle book. So I started my title page of my doodle book. So I call it my happy doodle book. And then I use those quirky stamps I got from my friend's garage sale. I don't even know who makes these stamps, but they're very fun. They remind me of Linda Berry, and she has that composition book, which I don't have that book, but I kind of want to do this sort of like a, add doodles, put stickers in, do doodles based on the stickers. Hi, Mary too. Thanks for coming. Hi, Diane Bell. I saw someone else sneak in. Who was that? Jane. Jane. So that is underway, and that one I had doodled with, I gotta put Lucy over here for a second. Put you down there, girl. I had done the doodling with this Bic pen that I had bought with it that has the 4 colors. And so that's the doodling. The other thing, I was going to practice some abstract landscape techniques inspired by Trina, but then some stuff was happening with my mom's placement, so I didn't really get a chance to do that. But I had worked on, okay, let me just let her out. Just give me a sec. Okay, Lulu, you're free. I had done this piece, but it's not really the style I wanted to do. It's not quite as loose and abstract-y as I wanted. And this was done on watercolor paper with mixture of, direct on the paper and some gel printing. So we're not going to be doing exactly that today, but who knows, it might end up something like this. And this was from a picture. This was inspired by a picture that I took while driving around in Prince Edward Island. So there's the picture I took from the car, and then this is sort of the inspiration for this picture, this print. I don't know, it's not really painting. It's a monoprint, or it's a abstract-ish landscape. And I was inspired also by Gaynor Paddle. She also has changed her channel name to Experimental Acrylic Art. She's in the UK, and she has this lovely cottage that she arts in. And one thing she does is she'll just take photos around her area, and she'll just kind of print out, inspirational photos. So these might end up, as part of our abstract landscapes today. I'm not sure. I've got like a whole whack of them. The sand in Prince Edward Island, where we are, is actually not where I am right now, but where I visit. Thanks Dede. This picture doesn't really do it justice. It's really red, it's like a sienna red colored sand. I don't think I have a picture that really shows it, but I took lots of photos, like vertical and horizontal. So we'll see. It's going to be a bit of an experiment today. Yeah, Dar looked up these composition books. They come in these 4 colors, and they only seem to be in Canada. They're made in, they're made in China, but they're by a Canadian company out of Ontario called Morange International Limited. Yes, usually it's the other way around. Usually it's, we can't get that in Canada, so sorry. Hi, Alyssa. Wait, high five. I always give Alyssa high five hands because she sent Dede these cute 2 little arms that match Dede. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to, I think that's everything I wanted to show here. I do have some happy mail from Zandra that I'm going to show you at my desk. So I'm going to take you off the stand, and you're going to, if you get seasick, just close your eyes for a bit, and we're going to just kind of turn this around, and we're going to go for a little walk across the room. Like I said, it's a rainy day here. There we go. Sorry, my finger touched the photo button. Okay, so I still haven't finished this thing here. I haven't worked on that. I haven't had a chance. So let's look at this fun happy mail from Miss Zandra. Hi, Sherry. Oh, okay. Have a great day. Thanks for popping in. And how's my sound today? Is it okay? I bought this new little photo backdrop thing that's sort of shiny, so I'm hoping paint's not going to get stuck on it. Thanks, Nanimo. I really like it. I really enjoy my studio, and I like keeping it somewhat organized in between. Oh, I didn't put you guys on YouTube yet. I like to keep it organized in between projects. I like to kind of clean it up and get things ready. Oh, I hear Lucy coming up the stairs again. Okay, sorry, I just got to go to YouTube and so I can read the chat, because now I don't have the front-facing camera. Just let me just... So hopefully my Wi-Fi will cooperate today. Last week I had to go on to data, and that really ate up my battery. So hopefully the Wi-Fi is going to be okay today. The other thing I posted last week was a painting, a portrait painting I had done of my son's girlfriend. So that's up on my Facebook and my Instagram. And that took me a long time. It was done with gouache mostly and a bit of colored pencil. So I hope to maybe do a few more of those. Okay, there we go. I found my channel. I found myself. I didn't even know I was lost. Okay. All right, so here's the happy mail from Zandra, or as Dede calls her, our resident mermaid. She sent me a card that she bought in Australia. So that's a greeting card. Hi, Lizzie Jean. Hi, Patty. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, please excuse me. Oh, thanks, Dede. Yeah, and I've been watching Portrait Artist of the Year a lot. I just love that show. So I don't know. I'm not sure if it's for me, but I'll try. So this napkin, super cute. She sent me a lot of Egypt stuff, and I love Egypt stuff. I do have some stuff put away for an Egypt journal, so I think it's time to get that started. These stencils, I don't know what brand they are. So Zandra Scraps to Beauty sent me these items. She sent me a die cut and some wings. Maybe you put that on the back of this guy or something. That would be cool if you stencil him and then you put these wings on him. That would be neat. And then a cute little piece of paper with some, not botanical, marine. Yes, it's a great napkin. And then she sent me some of her awesome wax seals. I'm going to open this up to show you. I'll have to cut it. I'll have to cut it. So I moved my scissors over there so I wouldn't be reaching straight across my desk all the time, because I know that makes the camera go weird. Hi, Julie Parker. Are you getting ready for work? Okay, so she sent me, so I think she sent Dede some of these too. So there's a mermaid. I hope that's focusing. And this one is another mermaid. And then this is more of an Egyptian thing. So I'm gonna put that with my Egypt. We'll put the water stuff over here and the Egyptian stuff over there. And then this is a scarab. So she put stickers on the back, so that makes it easy to put in your journals. And I don't know what they call it, if these call these jackals or what the name of this Egyptian deity is. So she's taking a break from streaming right now. Hopefully she'll be back. Ooh, look at that, it's a skeleton mermaid. Maybe we'll put that in our Halloween journal. And then this one says Cairo. It's the Sphinx. Yes, very cool. Oh, you're not working? Okay, well, I hope you're feeling okay. And then, oh, here, I'm, what do you call that when you edit for, not pornography, you know what I mean. Okay, so I don't think that's a mermaid, but anyhow. And then she sent me some cool washi. Look at this washi stuff. So there's this, the plane. Lena, Miss Linux 2010, she did recently, well, I think it was a couple weeks ago, she posted a painting she did of like sand and some pyramids, and it was really cool. I want to maybe do that. If I would have had these for my Egyptian ATCs, I probably would have used them. But now I get to use them in my own journals. Hi, Shelley Allred. Hi, Star Traveler. You think it might be Anubis. Okay. And then this is some washi tape. So she sent me a some different, so it's cool. At West Edmonton Mall right now, they have one of those exhibits where it's virtual reality, where you put a headset on, and it's called Horizon of Khufu, and you're in Egypt and you're walking around. So it's, if you know VR, it's like that, but you're actually physically walking, and it's in this huge room. It's pretty cool. And then this little coloring postcard. It's like a fish, a Zen tangled fish. And then scented grip pens, smell me. Should put that on a journal. Smell me. Okay, so I'm going to put this stuff away. Thank you very much, Sandra. I honestly just about cried when you sent me that package. It was really, really sweet. I'll have to post it on, usually I post in stories on my Instagram when someone sends me Happy Mail, so I'll have to take a picture of the Happy Mail and do that. Okay, so I made myself a plan of action for today for 3 possible prints, but I don't know that we're going to get to everything. So we're going to start off with some 8x10 gel plates. And I'm going to be doing these on watercolor paper because we're going to do a mix of jelly printing and like actually working on the paper. So I have this acrylic block paper from the dollar store, so it's not super thick. And then I have this Canson watercolor paper. So this is 140 pound. This says it's 300 GSM. This is 300 GSM. I don't think that dollar store one is that the same. It's definitely thinner. This is going to be more absorbent, I think. So we'll start with the good one. So I bought a new mat here, so I hope it's okay. It looks a bit crooked, but I think it's because my camera's crooked. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit. Have I made any paper dolls? No, I haven't. Anne Laura was making some cool ones today before I came on. PMR Studio making some. I'm gonna use this plate here to start because it's not on a big acrylic block. It's on just the paper that comes with your gel plate in the clamshell. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this a little bit different than Mixed Media Trina. Okay, let's zoom in a bit more, I think. Let's see how that is. Oh, and Becky says that Eddie made a cool skeleton paper doll, skelly paper doll. And put that there. Okay, so see how the zooming in goes. That's pretty good. And just because it's yellow, it still works. It's just yellow from all the alcohol ink. And all the stuff you see on the bottom, that's actually on this thing. So the front is pretty clean. So these watercolor pads are about 9 by 12. So I cut each one in half. So this is about 9 by 6. So we're going to fill up the whole thing. All right, so let's see what I want to do for step 1. Okay, so step 1 isn't what's her name? Mixed Media Trina. She doesn't really do this step, but I kind of took notes of what she did and what other people do, and I just kind of tried to, you know, make it my own. So I'm gonna open this. I'm hoping this paper, it's got like a coating on it, so I'm hoping it's not going to be get all gross with paint. If it does, then it came as a 6-pack, and each paper has 2 different sides. So if it does get dirty and doesn't clean well, then I think what I'll do is I'll use what's that called, that clear stuff, Mac Tack. I think I'm just gonna I think we'll do a horizontal landscape. I'm just gonna put a few marks in the matte gel medium just for fun. So we're gonna let that dry. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for coming, everybody. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me for my live streams. Sorry I wasn't more prepared today, but you know. So while that's drying, I'm just going to talk about some of the materials we're going to use. So I'm going to use my Kuretake Gansai Tambi, just my small set. Hi, Violet, not my Art Nouveau set, and these are the colors. So the beach and PEI is really this burnt sienna color. That's really the color it is. So we're going to put that there. I've got out some other things. I'll just pull this whole thing while we're just chat while that's drying. So I got out some Neo Color 2s, which are water soluble. Trina uses these a lot. So Mixed Media Art by Trina. I'm just going to say Trina from now on. Now, what happened? There we go. So I sort of have some colors on this half that I probably will use. I pulled out this Blender Power Pastel by Jane Davenport. Basically, it's just a clear wax crayon or wax pastel. So I'm going to use that on paper to make a resist. I've got out this Stabilo black one. Probably should be sharpened. I've got a few Inktense pencils here. I'll probably grab out some other colors. I've got them beside me. A palette knife. Trina does a lot of like scraping and making marks with her palette knife, not on the gel plate, but on the paper. A charcoal pencil, and then some Derwent Light Fast crayons. Oh, that reminds me. The other thing Trina used that I wanted to use a bit of was some Distress inks. Now, if you use distressed inks, it's not going to be light fast. So I've got like a little container here that has a lot of my distress inks in it and my little mats and stuff. So we'll be grabbing some of those. Maybe we'll start with, I'm just going to grab one out to start. So we're doing lots of layers, I think, is my plan. Playing. So she used hickory smoke a lot, so we use hickory smoke. We could try this rusty hinge. And then there's others that I can grab from. What else? Oh, the other thing that Trina does is she uses deli paper. Oh, I also grabbed some Rusty Car infusions. She doesn't use infusions, but I don't think. So she'll take deli paper. This is tracing paper. Same difference. It's not quite dry yet. And she'll mark it up with some oil pastels. I've got some wax crayons here, which I think should work. And what she does is she just kind of scribbles onto the deli paper. And then she'll put it on her, whatever she's working on, and she'll kind of scratch marks using like a palette knife. And then you get really fine marks from that. So we're going to do that. We'll probably use brown and probably some black. These are Faber-Castell beeswax crayons, and I found these at Indigo Books in the kids section. And I think they were like $12. If I tried to buy these on Amazon, it was closer to like $30. Hi, Apple. Good to see you. Long time no see. So I'm just going to do a few colors here to have ready. And maybe this terracotta color. So she'll use oil pastels. I think this works pretty similar. Okay, so we're going to have those ready to go. Hi, Colleen. Good to see you. Yes, I think it's pretty cool how she does that with the, she makes lots of marks on her pieces. I highly recommend you check her out, Mixed Media Art. I don't know if it's by Trina or with Trina. I did put a link in the description. I don't know if it's still there. It seems like when I put a link ahead of time, sometimes it disappears. So we might do more of those, but that's enough to start. And then I had some other things too, but we're not gonna get to. We'll see what we get to. We'll see what we get to. So I'm wondering, do they have a beeswax smell? Let me see. Let's do some smelling. Now I have allergies and I'm not the best sniffer in the world, even though my nose is a little large, but they smell like Crayola crayons, to be honest. They don't smell like, I don't really smell beeswax. Okay, so do we want to use one with the beachy colors? Let me just look at, and Trina doesn't use like reference photos. I just thought that might be cool, something like that. I just thought it'd be fun to use reference photos, or maybe this. There's a lighthouse. I think I posted that picture. I don't think we'll do a lighthouse today. Okay, let's maybe do a combination of these two. It's not going to be literal. Okay, I just need to dab my nose. Speaking of allergies, just going to grab a tissue. There we go, there's a tissue. So hopefully I won't sneeze. And then I grabbed out some like collage papers and other stuff like that. So, and it might end up looking nothing like this. I'm just using this as like a loose color blocking idea for now. Like, so this, we've got like the beach color. We've got the dunes coming in at an angle. We've got the seaweed. We've got some ocean. I probably make the ocean bigger. And we've got some sky and some clouds. So I think that's going to be, we'll start with that. Okay, let's see. So it's not quite dry. Let me just get a my little fan. Now, one of the videos I watched, like I said, Trina doesn't do this matte medium step. But one of the videos I watched, she started off with her distress inks to make a layer. So I think we'll do that. I don't know that we'll use gray for this one. Okay, so that's pretty dry. All right, so let's, oh, I wanted to use my Inktense blocks too. We got all the supplies going today. Let's see if we actually get anything done. Now she'll also, she'll use Inktense blocks. No, does she use the blocks or the pencils? She might just use the pencils, but she'll take charcoal and she'll grate it onto the page. So I thought we could do that with the Inktense blocks. We could do some, we could use that to grate some little fine dust. Hi, Sophia. Okay. Now, let's, what are we going to start? Like, I didn't totally plan this. Let's do a little bit of this rusty hinge. And for the distress ink to stick to your gel plate, you don't actually need the matte medium. It actually sticks quite readily. So I'm just going to use a bit of that rusty hinge. That's why you want the matte medium dry, because you don't want that contaminate your block. And then she'll do some little lines in it. Now, because of the matte medium, I'm finding this is not really spreading as much. So I'm going to just spray just a little bit of water just to get it to move a little bit more. Okay, that's good. And let's use our Inktense. That's a good dune color, 1530. I think that's this one. I find the colors very hard to read. I think that's the same one. So I'm going to just dip that in water. So I just dipped it in water, and I'm just going to kind of like do kind of that. This might look nothing like the photo once we're done. So just going to kind of do some dunes, kind of going up at an angle. Okay. And I'm going to wipe my finger. What about if we use the sandpaper? 2020, that's a black. Let's use this kind of, it's almost like a purpley black, but let's do beach color first. Let's use the Gansai Tambi, this yellow ochre. Need a paintbrush. So I don't know, do you guys think that abstract landscapes have to have no reference? Like, do they have to be from your imagination, or is it okay to have like a reference photo as part of your inspiration? What do you guys think? So we're going to do that sand, kind of going up the dunes. Okay, and what else? Let's use some of the Neo Color 2 and I dip that in water. This is a olive green. So we'll kind of, I just want to kind of keep it loose. Okay, and maybe we'll use this ochre to suggest that there's sand up in here in the dunes. is kind of a similar color. I like how the matte medium, you know, the lines I did in the matte medium is giving us some resist. How do I like these watercolor paints? I love them. I love the Gansai Tambi watercolor paints. Let's do this ultramarine pale in the sky here. So we're kind of treating this like a watercolor gel print. And the Gansai Tambi is almost like, people kind of call it a between a gouache and a watercolor. And remember, my paper is not the size, so I'm going to have to kind of pick where I want it. Let's put a hint of the seaweed using sandpaper and this Inktense block. So we're just going to kind of okay. If you can see that. So got little speckles of the Inktense block. So I haven't, you know, tried this technique fully on the Gelplate, so bear with me. What about some Inktense pencils for the beach? Like not the beach, the ocean. And how about we do, I'm thinking indigo, deep indigo. I'm just going to dip that. I'm going to be careful just to dip the tip and not the wood. And I think I'm just going to do just kind of like essence of ocean down here. Hi, Pinka. And there is another cove up. Like we do have this little peninsula up there. So maybe we should use this green. And this ochre. So it's going to be our base. We're going to let it dry. And then we'll add lots of other marks to it once we have it on a piece of paper. So my water's kind of not very straight. Let's make that straight. And let's put a few hills, maybe just with the charcoal. I'm going to wet it and we'll see if we do. Is that going to be too much? I don't know. And then we'll fill that in later. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm tempted to take a paintbrush and just hit some of those spots of Inktense just with the paintbrush to get them to kind of get some of them to activate a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. Okay, I'm going to move that. Hope he feels better. And I'm going to put it on this so that it doesn't get too, I don't move it around too much. So I let that dry naturally. And while it's drying, I'm going to take my paper, and this is going to go on here at some point, right? So let's just add some marks, see if we can get any sort of, I don't know if we'll get a resist because we're going to use matte medium on this to pick it up, but let's just try. Let's just do some random, so these are just clear marks. I don't know if that's going to do anything. And then let's use our palette, a palette knife, and I'm just going to kind of scratch up the paper. We'll see if any of those indents show up when we do our pull. So I'm just going to start with that. That's going to, you probably can't even see that. It's just some little lines. We'll see what that does. So I'm going to let that dry. While that's drying, we're going to start a second piece. And this piece I thought we would do more like the watercolor effect that I've done before, using diluted acrylic. I've got some pink paint on here I don't think I want on my landscape, so I'm just gonna wipe that off. Hi, Lady J. This is some of that neon from last week. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's do a vertical one. Let's see, what if we do something like that? Because I think that would be cool to have some like lines and some fence posts and this little thing in the middle. So to do that, we're not going to add the lines. We're just going to do a base, not using matte medium, but we're going to use diluted acrylic paint. So we've got some blue up here, but we could use, what was I thinking about using? Oh, we could use some Posca or some acrylic pens to kind of give us the zones, like the separation. So let's do, what color is that? It's like a blue. Hi, Keeks. Hey, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie. Did I say hi to you yet? Okay, so thinking. And again, I have to remember that my sheet is not going to cover this whole thing. Let's put the, we'll put the horizon line over there. And then let's just do a couple of zones here. And this is like a bluish color. I don't really want to use green. What about, this is sort of a gray. This could be like where the fence is. And then we'll have our little, I don't know what that is, the little crevasse. And I don't think Trina, you know, plans hers out quite this much. And there's also like two fields there. There's kind of one that goes like that and one that goes like that. I'm just going to spray that just a little bit. Okay. I have no idea how these are going to turn out. Your guess is as good as mine. All right, let's use some acrylic paint, diluted. So for the sky, what if we use this this light blue violet? No, I want it more, well, whatever, we can alter it. So, and I've done this effect before where you use just really just thick, lots of watery acrylic. And then we're not gonna use matte medium to pick it up. We're just gonna just put our paper right on there. Let's use a little bit more. And I am not an acrylic abstract landscape artist specialist. Let's do some greens with, I struggle with my green acrylics. I got this deep green. What if we mix that with the blue? I'm going to try to keep them separate though, so that they don't interact too much. Let's see, is that too green? That's really bright. Let's use a bit of ivory black, has like a brownish tinge to it. Just put a little drip of that over here. And lots of water. So this is a Robin McClendon technique where you just let the paint soak up into, so we have, we're going to add to these with stuff on top of the paper after. That's so technical. These are going to be multi-layered prints, not just gel prints, not just from the Gelplate. Okay, and this is more of like a yellowy, so we got like some fields. I almost wish I had a full okay, and we want to do that. Let's do transparent red iron oxide for that little crevice. So I just need another little palette. So hope you guys are all doing okay. I wish I had more time to art. Like I mentioned earlier, I did get all the happy mail out and from the giveaway last week. And my plan is to do a giveaway at least once a month, probably at the beginning of the month. I know Dede does, she's so generous, she does so many giveaways. I don't have the bandwidth to do that many giveaways. Let's just put some in here too. Okay, now, okay, I'm tempted to use a full sheet because I don't think I want to. I think I want to be able, oops, I want to be able to like choose my composition after. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a full piece of this Canson watercolor paper. So Diane says she's doing better today. It's a little cooler. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to just wet this
with just some rubbing alcohol. It'll just help the things break up a little bit more. And then what Robin McClendon does is she puts it smooth side down and she just gives the paper time to absorb the paint. Hi, Christina331. Good to see you. So we're going to get some smushiness there. We're going to probably have a lot of white space, but that's okay because we can add more marks, we can add more paint, we can add more collage. Well, that's kind of cool. Whoops. So there's our start. Kind of blobby. We could spray it with water. Should we spray it with water and put it down? See if we can pick up a bit more. I think that Posca, not Posca, but the paint pens kind of aren't going to reactivate. I'm going to turn this around and do it like a stamp. Whoops, I'm going to take this out here so I can see. I'm going to just see if we can smush a bit more onto there. So this isn't the traditional way to do a print. Oh, thanks, Lady J. That's very sweet. You actually have some happy mail coming, but you're going to have to, I forgot one part of embellishment. So when you get it, let me know and I'll tell you, it'll be interactive. I'll tell you what you have to do to finish it. I was doing like, oh yeah, I'll have to do that after. And then next thing I know, I've got it mailed. Okay, so I'm going to pull it sideways. There we go. So that's a bit more painterly. I like that. It's a good start. I'm just going to move this here and just wipe up a bit on that edge. So some of the green went up in the sky, but I'm not mad at that. These are supposed to be abstract, so you're trying to let go of some control. I like the sky. I love the sky. And then remember, we're going to add maybe some lines in the sky here. Okay, and I think Robin McClendon explains like it's important to just put your paper on. It has to be absorbent paper, and you have to just put it on slow and just give it time and just kind of tickle the back. Just give it time to like absorb the paint. All right, so we're gonna let that dry and then we'll add some stuff on the surface. Let's see, is this one ready? This one's not quite ready, but you know what? Maybe it's ready enough, because what we're going to do with this one is we're going to use the matte medium on the paper to pick up our print. And you know what? I think I'll just do the same thing. I'm just going to use the full sheet of paper. This time we'll use the cheap paper because it's a good thickness, and I'm not trusting it to absorb the paint because we're going to put matte medium on this to pick up this print. Normally I'll do like gloss medium, which reminds me, I already pre-marked that one. So let's go ahead and so we're going to add some, I don't think this is going to work as resist because we're going to put the matte medium on top. So I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to use the oh gosh, words are hard today. The palette knife to make some random kind of marks in the paper, and that might give us just a bit of extra texture. So just using the palette knife. Hi, Kristen. Hey, Joanne. So Joanne said that Yuta and Dede's ATCs arrived today. Woohoo! And you got your chicken. You got your chicken from Devon. Oh, the giveaway. I just mailed that on Monday. Wow, that was quick. Zooey mama. Okay, so normally when I do this watercolor technique with the gel plate, I'm gonna zoom out a bit. Usually I use the gloss medium to pick it up, but I don't want it. I wanted to use matte medium. I'll just say that. I just want to use matte medium today. And even though this isn't fully dry, I'm not going to worry too much. We're just going to let it sit for a bit, give it time. So we want about an 8 by 10 area. And we can even just brayer it, right? We want it, the thing is we want this wet. So there's a few little speckles that came off my brayer, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to take this paper with speckles and all, and I'm just going to put it on top of here. Hopefully, I don't know if I had enough matte medium on the top. I feel like, yeah, I don't think I went that far up, but we'll see. I'm just going to spray the back of this paper because it's curly. It's curling up a bit. That's where my hair is falling out. All right. You love a challenge, Lady J? Awesome. Well, it won't be too hard. It won't be too hard. Now, I'm going to turn this over like that. And I'm going to use my Baron to rub it. So this isn't really a step that Trina does. It's kind of my modification. I mean, she does brayer, but I mean, using the matte medium on the gel plate first. She does do some pickups using matte medium, and then she uses her brayer to really push it down. I thought that was brilliant. So I don't know that I got my matte medium in the right spot. But you can see here the lines that we put in the matte medium, they're showing. You can see the little speckles from the intense, shaving the intense. And that was also a trick I learned from Cat and Paste. She uses like intense blocks bits in some of her coloring pages to add texture, especially for rocks. Okay, so we're gonna let that set. So we got two things drying. So my third technique is more like collage directly on the plate. So I'm just gonna, should we choose a reference photo for this? I'm gonna put this back in here so you guys can see. Just gonna use a little bit of baby oil. Okay, so my third one was, to do that Shin Collé style where you do a collage directly on the gel plate. And when I see people doing, am I cutting out? Oh, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, I'm just going to be quiet I shouldn't be quiet. I'll keep talking. You guys tell me if my sound is okay. My iPad's showing the streams going all right. So hopefully it's not my microphone. And hopefully it's not my Wi-Fi. Gonna use a bit more of the baby oil. Fine there, fine there. Okay, maybe, Colleen, maybe you need to go back out and come back in. Maybe it's your Wi-Fi. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Thanks for letting me know when there's issues, guys. If you perceive an issue, I appreciate that you say something, because then I can try to fix it. So I'm just giving this a clean. So this one we're going to do collage and painting on the plate and do it more like a normal pickup. And then we can add some of those embellishments we talked about. Okay, so let's do, so we need some paper to put down. So shin colle or shin colle means that you have thin paper that you glue on. So I think one of the first people I saw doing that directly on the gel plate was actually Margelle at the Shelley Studio. Oh, I want to paint that picture someday. I think that would be cool, just kind of color blocking, or maybe with jelly prints. Not today, but I'm just looking for something that we could do. Looking through my stash of photos here. There's a heron. You know what? I think there was one near the beginning that was kind of blurry. It was from the car. Bye, Becky. Thanks for coming. Because I was using my phone, a lot of my pictures are in the vertical direction. If I had time, we could do a lighthouse one. Right, something like that, very simple. So I'm not going to collage the sky, but I thought we could sort of rip pieces of paper. Let's see, I don't really have any greens out though. Let me just go grab some painty papers. I'm gonna grab my green / blue section, see what we can come up with. Try to make this one more abstract. These are more green. This might be cool. Oh, we're getting more blue now. And that one, that's interesting. That's kind of interesting. I didn't really plan this one very well, but let's just kind of rip. What if we do, hi Carrie, Carrie the Crafter. We're doing various abstract landscapes. A few different styles. So this is an old stencil I have. I don't know. It's not a PM Artist Studio stencil or anything. What about here? That might be cool. And then we're going to add different embellishments. Well, I hope you have a good rest there, Carrie. Whoops. And remember, it's going to be backwards, whatever we put in. So what if we do that? Because it gives us this little square chunk that we can put maybe something yellowish. I got to put it upside down, don't I? I got to put it that way. Because we're going to collage directly on the plate. And then maybe we'll use yellow there. Maybe we'll use this as some of the foreground. Remember, if you don't want this white line ripped towards you like that, you don't get that white line. This one's going to be very abstract, so we'll do that. And the paint is what's going to hold it down. So what if we do an ombre, blue and yellow, Naples yellow, and then like a green? And I think I'm going to rip this a bit smaller so we can make sure there's a bit of paint here too. All right, so hopefully, my hope is that these are going to stick. And then we may or may not add some embellishments. So let's use a blue. I use Naples yellow, blue, and then like a green. I don't like my green selection, but here, I'm going to use my cheap Montmartre paints. Let's see, I don't know if that's, whatever. We're not doing rocket science. Okay. So I highly encourage you to check out Mixed Media Art by Trina. Like I said, this is not, this is quite different than what she does, but a lot of the finishing marks and stuff that I'm going to hopefully get to, that's kind of more what she does. So this technique where you collage on the plate is more inspired by, I'd say, the Shelley Studio. I've seen various people do this. I've done it, but I think one of the first people I saw do this directly on the plate was Shelley. Okay, now I need some paper to pick it up. This one, I don't really need a watercolor paper. I'm just going to use my 32-pound. We're doing kind of 3 different techniques. And then abstract landscapes, I'm always inspired by Dede Willingham. She does really cool worlds and abstract landscapes. So that's kind of what's going to be in there. So hopefully that's going to all stick. Yeah, and Robin McClendon, multiple inspirations. So this is our 3rd print that we're working on. I'm going to pull the other 2, and then we'll start adding some extra marks and details. Another thing that Trina did is she did like an image transfer just in a portion on the plate, and then added it to one of her papers. So that's kind of the base of this one. And then we're going to add stuff to it. Hopefully the collage papers will stick. All right, so that's number 3, inspired by this one. And then the other 2 are inspired by these pictures. Let's see, this one here is almost dry. So that's where this one's at so far, but we're going to add more to it. Sometimes using the gel plate, sometimes directly to the paper. And then this one is inspired by that. So let's pull it up see what we got as our starting point. Whoopsie, ripped the paper. We can glue that on. Where's my glue? So that's, I like the texture from the Inktense blocks. I'm shaving them, it's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna glue this, do a little surgery. Okay, so that, I'm gonna let that, it still feels wet here, so I'm gonna let that dry. And we're gonna start working on adding some details to this one. How are we doing for time? Okay, and there we can put that in our brayer area. Oh, the other thing, someone had asked me when I was showing how I organize my Alex cart, and I put my papers and I organize them by color family. They said, if it's multiple colors, how do you decide what color to put it with? So I kind of go by my gut, like whatever I'm feeling that day, or you can also kind of squint your eyes and see what color seems more dominant to you and then put it in that section. Let's say you have something that has orange and pink and blue, and you squint your eyes and you get more the pink. Put it with your pink. Don't second guess it. It doesn't matter. It's not rocket science. When you need that piece of paper, it'll come to you. Like it'll appear when it's the right time for that paper. Does that make sense? Now what Trina does is she mainly starts, from what I've seen, she mainly just starts directly on her paper, which I don't think I'll have time to do that today. I'm going to spray the back of this and use my heat gun just to flatten it a bit. Where's my water? Anybody see? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just going to spray the back of this. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm having fun. Sorry I wasn't more prepared. Well, thanks for pressing those little heart buttons. Now, I don't know, I got this new paper. It's got a coating on it. I don't know if the heat gun is going to warp it or damage it. Okay, so let's add some details. It's not super flat yet, but whatever. Okay, so what are some of the ideas for details? So, let's see. We can add colored pencil lines. So I've got some colored pencils. So we can just go in and let's say we want to add, let's say we want to add a bit of green. We can just not overthink it. Let's see, we got our, remember this is reverse now from that, right? I like those lines on there. We could add, I don't want to add the sticks yet. I'm trying to reverse this in my brain. Let's add some lines for this canyon. This is a green. And this is supposed to be abstract, so we're not going to be super precise. Just essence. Okay, and then let's do that. I like that. There's a bit of that brown there. kind of like rolling hills. Okay, so that's colored pencil. We could add some Neocolor. Oh gosh, I keep dropping things in the crack there. We can add some Neocolor 2, just like a crayon. So let's say we want like a bit of darker brown. You don't have to activate Neocolor 2 with water. You can just use it like a crayon. Okay, what else do I have in my notes? You can use stamps to add some texture. You can use stencils. You can use your palette knife with inks or paint. You can use your Inktense pencils. Let's use our, I didn't use my infusions, but I don't think I'm going to use it here. Let's use some of our Inktense pencils here. So we have charcoal gray. I think we're going to do some of those fence lines with this paper. So let's do that. Oh, we got to do let's do the palette knife to do these power lines. So I'm going to use some black. We can add texture with some stamps or some punchinellas. Okay, so let's use, no, not that. I don't want to put paint in that. And I didn't, where's my, sorry, I'm having a moment here. Okay, let's put some black paint in this, or some Sumi ink. Let's do Sumi ink. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Sumi ink on that palette. And I'm going to just, so we're going to make those lines here. And we're just going to, not going to overthink it. Maybe that's a bird. Hey Jane, hope everything's okay. Okay, there's our essence of lines. Let's do, what if we add, where's those other pieces? We add some of those fence posts. Let's do Inktense pencil first. Let's use the charcoal gray. Sorry, I'm out of the, there, is that better? Okay, I'm glad he's okay for now. Let's do, so when Trina does this, she's very quick and free, but I'm a beginner at this, so I'm just, so it's going to be sort of some trees, essence of trees here. Okay, and let's use a water brush. And let's do some lines this way. Have to press a little bit more, I think. So you get those really fine lines from the pencil crayon. And then I think we need something up here. Let's see what else we have. Lines, stamp with acrylic. So let's do an acrylic. Let's get a acrylic stamp, or we could do the image transfer. Let's do an image transfer and just put a random, or we could collage some paper. Let's see, I grabbed some, stuff from Collage Soup. I don't think I want to do these trees. I think that's maybe too literal, or maybe that would be cool in the foreground. We could do that, sure, let's do that. We'll use a little plate. Do I have a little plate? Yeah, my little round plate should work. It's very literal. But we should probably finish something in the back first. Actually, let's do the transfer, and then we'll put it on with matte medium after it's dry. But we'll just do the transfer, and then if it works and we've got it, we can always add it. So I'm just going to do that. I definitely need more time to play and get familiar with these techniques. Need a piece of paper. I think I had too much paint on there. Oh, no, it worked. Okay, so we can add that. Trina definitely doesn't add anything that representational. She definitely keeps it more abstract. This is quite representational. But we could add it over there. Once it's dry, I'll use matte medium. But let's work on the back here. Let's see, what if we just collage some papers, or what if we do an image transfer using this laser print? This is a PM Artist Studio laser print. We do kind of like that. Now it's going to be backwards. I only have half an hour left. Well, we'll work on this one and then we'll do what we can. All right, let's pull this because I need another piece, another gel plate. So this is our start of a collage. So we have just the basics, and then some of these things that we're doing now we could do on here as well. Okay, but let's do the image transfer of this and try to put it directly on here. Let's do that. And we could mask off the error if we want, but instead of using black, let's use a dark green. Let's use a green. We could use this one here that I had. We could use this one. Let's use that. So we're going to use this to do. Let's add a bit of this green too. I like this. This was a nice dark green, like a not so Viridian-ish. Use my small brayer. So this is way too thick. I need a brayer off paper. So maybe I'll do more of these over the week. Let's put just some random lines in here so it's not like a perfect transfer. And do that. And I'm hoping that I can pick it up and put it directly on my paper. Okay. That's pretty good. Don't want like a flat strip though. Do we have a ripped piece of paper we can put? Let's do that. So we have just some abstract marks there. Hi, Linda. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit, and then we'll add our tree and our fence posts, and then maybe we can add a few things to the other one. So this is nowhere near the level of like complexity that Trina does. Trina, Mixed Media Art by Trina. But let's do something with this. So I like how the Inktense thing, like the Inktense block scratching here. I like the ocean there. I love the sky. I think the sky is good. Let's look at our reference picture of that one. Oh, here's our brown thing. So it's kind of, no, it's not that one. There you go, it's this one. I feel like we could definitely add more lines. I like this guy on the beach here. I guess it's this way, isn't it? I like the water as is. I like that mountain. I feel like we need, let's put some grasses in here. Oh, gotta press harder. You can use a stylus too, or a chopstick. Maybe we need, I think the surface is very rough. There we go. I think a texture stamp would be good. I want something here. I think Punchinella, we could do like a, I don't want it too literal though. Let's see what else, what other, I don't know, we can just use watercolor. We could add watercolor to it. Could add some more of the just colored pencil. What about if we do those marks like this? What if we add just this is that clear, oil pastel or wax pastel. And then if we use some watercolor on top of the acrylic. Do we want, let's just try, let's see what the sap green does. I would recommend having lots of time, just to take your time. Oh, I have some colors here too. These were, I had used sap green and some blue. What if we just do, and you'll see how the wax resists it. Let's get a darker green. I don't know if you can see that. What if we use the Neocolor 2? I don't know if you can see that. Probably hard to see. Let's do black and then maybe it'll be more obvious. So this is more of a black. Put a bit of green in it. The other thing that Trina does is she'll paint with a silicone shaper, like her catalyst wedge. I don't have a catalyst wedge. I have this thing. But it can give you more texture-y. And let's use our, I think my yellow ochre fell, didn't it? My Neo 2. I didn't use any stamps yet. Thanks, Keeks. Let's get some stamps here. Just want something like abstract texture. So I've got these ones here. These are just from Stampin' Up! There. So just some texture. We could even stamp them through the punchinella. What if we do that in the foreground? Let's do like this with like a dark brown. So this is just the Vintage Photo Archival. Is it doing anything? I don't know if it's doing much. Let's try it without the punchinella. I think maybe we need black. Let's get black. Excuse my reach. This is jet black. Let's try it over here. There we go. Now we're getting more of a ooh, I like that. We're kind of making like a little dune here. Let's try, let's do this texture. This is, just looks like netting. What if we do that over here? What if we do it through the punchinella? And then let's give it more of a strong line there using, my desk is a mess. Let's use this, the Neo Color 2. So we have that sort of the beach there. And then we can even scratch in it with this Ruby Earth. These are not watercolor pencils, they're just color pencils. Even do add more grass just with the what else? These white lines, that's just from when we used our chopstick directly on the matte medium I had on the gel plate. So that's pretty cool. And then Trina will sometimes, she'll take her Neo 2s and just sort of like fill in some areas, like just really block it. If I look at my reference, so this is reversed. So we have the ocean. Really, we had like stuff there, but I think I want to do a more, I mean, maybe do a line there that's more defined, maybe with the Inktense. Leaf green. Here's the Inktense colors I have. Maybe that color. So just kind of do some more bold marks. Maybe we just scrape it a bit. I want this, something here is bothering me. It's like I want the ocean to come in. There we go, I like that better. Oh my, did you guys hear that? That was my son sneezing. Okay, so We could call that one done for now, I think. Birds in the distance. Sure. I'm not great with birds. Let's use, oh, I've got this lighter color one too. Does that do much? Not a lot. Should we use turquoise? There's a bird here. Oh, that's not dark enough. I think the charcoal gray would be good. That's deep indigo. Where did my charcoal gray go? That's the problem when you work on more than one thing at a time, is you start losing your things. But you know what? I have a stamp of birds. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use a stamp. I have a Stampin' Up stamp. It's like a seaside. Where is it? Where is it? Is this it? Here's one bird. There's some fish. There's one with like a lighthouse and it has birds. You know, when you try to look quickly for something, you can never find it. You guys still hear me okay? This bird might be too big. Where's my light? Oh, here it is. Here's my lighthouse. Here, there's some birds. Here's a cheat. We're going to use black, but I'm going to stamp it off so it's not full black. There we go. And we'll put one there and then like another one there. So we have 5 birds. Okay, so let's say that one is done for now. Let's see how this image transfer worked. Ooh, I like it. So we got that, definitely got more marks there. I like that. Okay. If we wanted, we could even like collage a piece of that on, but we're going to put that tree there. Where did my tree go? Here it is. We're going to put this tree. I think we're going to put it here. Let's make a line. Let's do a okay, now I'm looking for that paper. Got this paper. Let's do some lines in this. I think that palette knife's too flimsy. There we go. Okay, I want to do a line here in brown. Sorry, I'm not watching chat very well right now because I'm looking for my little bits of papers that I can't find. All right, let's get our crayons because Let's do dark brown. So this technique is definitely from Trina. So I'm going to make like a, oh, not this one, this one. I'm going to make like a line here. And then this one also had the fence posts, right? I can't, oh yeah, this one had the fence posts. So let's do some fence posts here. Make them bigger, smaller. Let's do some up here. There we go. So we have like some fence posts, essence of fence post. So let's do our tree. Now this is not very abstracty, I must say. Should we put it over here? I think we need something there, so maybe some stamping. Let's just go ahead and put that there. So we have these, actually no, we have this going up. The tree will bring us back around. These fence posts there though. On the edge? Sure. What the hey? The transfer looks like a shadow of a train. That's cool. I like that. I got way too much of this. So I'm sorry I'm always doing like, I feel like I do too much and then I don't really get to talk to you guys much. Okay, so I gotta lift that up. And I want to burnish it down a bit. Ah! I just dropped my buble all over the desk. I guess we'll find out if that paper is waterproof. Okay, I'll let that sit. I just got to wipe up this mess here for a second. Darn that buble. It's okay, it mostly went on my glass mat, so that's good. I wish there was more time in the day just to like leisurely gel print and play. My problem is when I do something, if I like it, if I'm not recording it, sometimes I don't remember how I did it. I guess you can take notes though. I like the painterly texture from the acrylic paint on the gel plate. Let's add some texture to this cavern. We'll use this stamp here with the black, no, brown, the brown. Julie says she has a stamp of birds sitting on a wire. That's cool. Let's do a green. Let's do a green one of these and make some grasses. Ooh, that's a very bright green. Let's add a bit of a brown to that, so it's not so. Let's do a few grasses here. So I highly encourage you to check out Trina. She's quite talented and she's very good at explaining things. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Let's put some little extra lines there. Maybe some in here. Let's see if that's ready to go. I'm just going to use my baby wipe, which I use to mop up my use that to get that circle of. So is it abstract landscape or is it too much reality there? I don't know. But let's sign this one. I think, let me cut it down. It does give me vibes of, you know, my time in Prince Edward Island. I do get the driving in a car. You know, you're driving in a car and things are zooming by really quickly. So there's that one. We could probably add some more green here. Let's just use like Neo color here, and then we'll just use some watercolor. Okay. And then maybe we use this to fill in I don't know if it's going to do it now that it's wet. It's kind of resisting it. But that's okay. All right, let's sign that. We'll sign the other one. I don't think we'll have time to do the third one that we got a little bit of a start on, but I can always show that to you guys next time. So I'm going to sign that. And it's August 25. And that we could put on a black piece of paper. Well, that's a big piece though. I wish I had a large, just to show you without all the distractions. There we go. So there's number one. And that tree was from the Collage Soup book. So, where is it? Something to talk, it's from this one. Something to talk about. One of the things I like about this book is that you have a combination of colored images and black and white images. So you can do image transfers from one side, and then you can cut and collage the colored pictures from the other side. And this is where I got the lady for the collage that I did with that print that Dede sent me, that jelly print. Okay, and then I love this. This is really fun. 0825. So this is, I'm going to put PEI because that is very reminiscent of our trip to PEI. I just need to have, you know, my husband and my 2 sons walking in the distance on the beach. Oh no, Julie has a cat that's maybe trapped. Oh. And then we have this one here. And let's pull out the other one that is way not done. Thanks, Linda. And here's the one that is very in baby stages. This is a 3rd style. So this style was matte medium on the gel plate first, followed by water soluble products, water reactive products. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to zoom out. And then let it dry, and then put matte medium on the watercolor paper, stick it on the surface, let it dry as much as you can, pull it off, and then add embellishments. So there's a close-up of that one. I think one of my favorite embellishments is this texture from the Inktense Blocks shavings. Trina uses charcoal shavings to do that. And even in the sky, some of that, this went in there. And then we have our Stampin' Up! Stamps. Linda, do you recognize those? Okay, and then this style here was more of a, so it's more mixed media by Trina, but not really. And then this is more of a style reminiscent of Robin McClendon, where you use watered down acrylic paints directly on the gel plate without any matte medium. And then you pick it up just by letting the watercolor paper absorb into the paper. And then I added lots of details inspired by mixed media Trina. And then this was a style inspired more by the Shelley Studio and Margelle at the Shelley Studio. This is just the start of it. I would definitely add, you know, stamping and all sorts of details to that. And just in general, abstract landscape. When I think abstract landscape, I think of Dede Willingham, and she makes these fantastical worlds, and it's lots of fun. So does anybody have any questions? I think we're pretty much at time. I don't know if Shannon Art Junkie's coming on. Sometimes she comes on at 5:15, I think. So to me, the winner of the day is probably this one. That will probably be our thumbnail. What do you guys think? Do you like that as a thumbnail? And then this one, we put some image transfers. This is a laser image transfer. And then that's a image transfer from Collage Soup. We could put some birds on this one too. Thanks, Nanamo. And remember, I did send out the Happy Mail. Joanne already got hers. And so hopefully they'll get their Happy Mail soon from the giveaway last week. And oh, thank you. Thanks, Jane. Thanks, Dar. Thanks for being an awesome mod and linking and all that fun stuff. Check out Mixed Media by Trina. Check out Robin McClendon. Check out Dede Willingham. She did some gel printing this morning that was very abstract landscape-esque. and check out the Shelley Studio. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye. Oh, hi, Zenjen. See ya. Bye-bye. And you're going to come off the stand. It's going to be a little wonky. There we go. Bye.